Our next topic is modified IRR, MIRR. So early on, we showed that IRR, because of its unrealistic assumption on the reinvestment rate, sometimes IRR can be unreliable, not as reliable as NPV. But IRR is an appealing method to evaluate projects because it gives you a percentage return rather than a dollar number. NPV gives you a dollar number. So when we compare different sizes, IRR apparently is a better comparison because that only gives a percentage return instead of dollar number. So we won't be comparing apple to oranges. Now, how can we improve IRR and make it reliable? So this is why we come up with a new definition, modified IRR, MIRR. So modified IRR improved from IRR based on its realistic assumption that when we get the cash flows, instead of we'll be reinvesting them at the IRR, we'll be reinvesting these cash flows at the weighted average cost of capital, which is the ongoing market rate for opportunity cost. So the modified IRR is the discount rate that makes the present value of a project's terminal value equals the cost or the initial investment of the project. Now, how do we find the terminal value? Well, we will be reinvesting all of our cash flows at the weighted average cost of capital till the project is over. And then we sum up all the future values. That'll be the terminal value of this project. So let's use project A as an example to calculate the modified IRR. So project A, at the end of year one, will get the $200 cash inflow. We'll be reinvesting that $200 at the weighted average cost of capital, ongoing market rate of opportunity cost, 10%. And we'll be reinvesting it till the project is over. So we will reinvest it for 3 years. Now, 3 years later, how much does this $200 cash flow become? Well, 200 times 1 plus 10% reset to the power of 3. So 3 years later, this $200 cash flow becomes $266.20. The second cash flow, $350, reinvested at 10% for 2 years, and then it will become $423.50. The third cash flow, $550, reinvest that at 10% for 1 year, that becomes $605. The last cash flow, $700, we won't have any time to reinvest it, so that future value is again $700. Now, let's sum up all these future values of the cash flows. We will get $2,684.40. That is our terminal value of the projects. So the modified IRR will be the discount rate that makes the present value of this terminal value equals the initial investment, $1,000. So $2,684.40 divided by 1 plus modified IRR reset to the power of 4, that should equal 1,000. And solve that, modified IRR equals 28%. So modified IRR is better than IRR because it's more realistic assumption on reinvestment rate. And then once we calculate the modified IRR, we compare this modified IRR with the hurdle rate, which is the weighted average cost of capital. And if the modified IRR is higher than weighted average cost of capital, project is a profitable project. Otherwise, the project will be losing money. Now, in this chapter, we cover these following topics: payback period, discounted payback period, net present value, internal rate of return. When we have mutually exclusive projects, there's a conflict between NPV and IRR sometimes, and NPV is always a more reliable method to evaluate projects. And then lastly, we covered modified internal rate of return, MIRR. Thank you.